The history of railroads in the world dates back to 1804, when steam trains rode on British industrial rail. In the past, the existence of the train had a significant impact on the efficiency and speed of delivery. Trainhistory.net gives an example: a long-distance trip such as from New York to California, which usually takes 1–2 months, can be cut down to just a matter of days. The steam train locomotive was first built in 1804 by Richard Trevithick, to drive an engine using high-pressure steam. Then February 21, 1804 became the first steam train journey invented by Richard Trevithick, which was carried out on the tram line belonging to the peninggalan iron factory. However, when the first steam train operated and opened the history of railroad development in the world, people were afraid to ride it. Quoted from Bobo.id, people are worried that passengers will not be able to breathe, or even become unconscious due to the shocks caused by the train. However, because of its low cost and short travel time, trains have gradually become a popular means of transportation for many people. James Watt, engineer and mechanic from Scotland, is one of the inventors who contributed to the history of railways in the world. He perfected Thomas Newcomen's steam engine. James Watt's steam engine was able to drive train wheels, because it worked in a reciprocating manner and was developed in 1769. Initially this machine was used in cotton mills, then James Watt perfected it and used this technology in smaller engines for use on trains. Rails existed before trains. Investigate a collaboration. It turns out, the railroad already existed before the train was created. The history of railroads in the world records: the first rails were made of wood and used as a line to pull carts used in the mining industry around the 1550s. It wasn't until the late 1760s that metal rails came into use by attaching cast iron to wooden rails. Trains were originally used to carry mining products, and since 1604 developed into funicular. Technological advances make trains continue to develop, from using steam power to electricity and diesel. The history of the world's first railroad says, the first electric train locomotive was made by a chemist named Robert Davidson from Scotland in 1837. This electric locomotive is powered by batteries and is referred to as the first battery-powered electric locomotive. Robert Davidson then made a larger locomotive and named it Galvani. Galvani can carry a load weighing 6 tons at a speed of about 6 km/h for a distance of 2.4 km. William Dent Priestman then made a design for internal combustion in trains. In 1894 William Dent Priestman's engine design began to be made into a 2-shaft engine. Then in 1906 diesel-powered locomotives were made by Rudolf Diesel, Adolf Closer, and steam engine manufacturer Gebrüder Sulzer. In 1912 the world's first diesel-powered locomotive began operating on the Winterthur Railway in Switzerland. In the history of railways from time to time, the name Stockton and Darlington Railway contributed greatly as the first railway company to serve passengers. The line was built between Darlington and Stockton, then from Darlington to northern England. The line that was originally used to connect coal mines to ships sailing on the sea, eventually also served to transport passengers. Stevenson controls his steam train carrying 450 people at a speed of 15 miles or 24 km/h. This train carries 28 carriages with 21 carriages for passengers and 6 carriages for coal. This first passenger train takes about 2 hours to cover 19 kilometers. Some of the passengers sat close to the coal. Begitula informasi yang bisa kami sampaikan semiga bermanfaat.